Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to Love Morning. I am John Halcyon, and welcome to this daily practice of gratitude and connection. This Love Ambassador meetup as part of Hug Nation, a way to remember that we have the ability to be that permission giver, that olive branch to a stifled fellow human who might be thinking, people suck. And then you're the one that goes, good morning. Or, I love your earrings. And they go, I guess not all people suck. Good morning to you too. I had a few opportunities to be a low-grade love ambassador on my walk this morning and was very pleased with the hellos that I got in response. Yesterday, not so much, but that's part of why the ambassador role is kind of a warrior role as well, is because you get knocked, hit, which a hit in this case is just not being received well. And that doesn't feel good. So you say, maybe not so much. Maybe I won't do it so much. Maybe I'll just keep my head down, which my little socially anxious remnants in me, that's what it wants to do. So knowing that I am with you as a love ambassador, I try to challenge myself to say, good morning. And I don't go like, good morning. I just say morning or morning. I do put the wave up because you never know if someone's got headphones in and can be the same as the verbal. Oh, good morning, Jason. Good morning, J Soul. Good morning, I am Lex. Good morning, Genevieve Mushkak, who has awesome stickers that she gifted me one. And it said, it's pictograms. I heart moose rooster, which I couldn't figure out what that meant. Moosecock. And good morning, Sierra. Good morning, everyone. Often, in fact, almost every morning, I try to start this broadcast by improvising a song. And this morning is no different, 'cause I'm gonna sing a song that I like. I took a trip to the grocery store yesterday on my pink furry bike. It made a guy drive up on his bike next to me. He said, I love your bike. It was easy for him to see. And we had a little convo and were reminded of our kinship. How am I going to rhyme with that? I guess you'll see my tongue slip. Welcome to Love Morning. Good morning. What are you grateful for? I got a little kick in my step today. Can you feel it? I'm grateful for this top that my friend Jen Powell made. I've got a number of pieces of clothing from friends, and she makes awesome stuff. So I'm super grateful. It's soft. Now it's green, and you may not have noticed, but I'm minimally colored in my apparel. Generally, I do neutrals and pinks as accent. Blues often, I think, go well with pink, but green goes well with pink too, he says in a high-pitched voice. Good morning, Michael. And good morning, Gerbot. I hope I am not betraying cross-pollinating of social media identities, but loved seeing your photo post in the post-burn integration group on Facebook, Gerbot. It was a picture of Lisa, myself, and Gerbot, and which you can quickly remove if you don't want people to know. Sorry about that. So thank you for participating in that. People were posting a photo of themselves and a little intro and their favorite art from the week. And man, every time someone posts about their favorite art, it's almost never something I saw. And I'm like, man, I did not see a lot of art. Really, I say this every year, I need to really schedule time and make an effort to, get the map out and look at the art. But then again, I'm so grateful for the human beings out there. My favorite art is the people. And it's so hard for me to say I'm going to spend hours riding around when I could be talking to you or someone as awesome as you. I guess you got to balance. I think I will do, well, I think what I'm going to do is try to do some daytime sleeping and sunrise and sunset art exploration. Who else has got a little gratitude to share? Oh, did you see who saw the title that I gave today's broadcast? I'm wondering if that shows up for you when you see this. Good morning, Jamie. So I had a doctor's appointment yesterday, and my list of ailments was like a things to worry about after 50. And I have been fairly vocal about my rectal pain post Burning Man. I didn't get into the fact that I think I've become accustomed to a bidet and using single ply toilet paper, which is, I mean, you can't even fold it together to get triple ply. It's like, it's almost like evaporates. It's like turns to dust. It's so too thin. So anyway, I think that was contributed. Anyway, so I talked about my hard time even saying the word hemorrhoid problem. So you better believe I showered right before my doctor's appointment, knowing that I'm going to have to bend over under bright lights and expose my sphincter. Also, I shaved. I squatted over a mirror and trimmed the hair around there, because I didn't want it to impede the diagnosis. If you are saying that's TMI, you must have just found your way here. I have. I find a freedom in simply saying it. If it feels awkward, just say it out loud. Indefinite Gentleman says, coming soon to Burning Man, burning bidets. Actually, I made a video about that last year. I joked, we got into a whole rant about, wouldn't that be cool? You could have a whole raised platform where people sit and the campmates go with spray bottles under people. I'm not really going to do that. But some people saw me talking about it and listed off all of the sanitation health reasons why that was a bad idea for a theme camp. I'm like, okay, I guess I won't spend my week looking up at people's butts. Thanks for the guidance. Anywho, back to my doctor's appointment. So I bend over and she says, and I'm kind of paraphrasing because the whole thing was surreal. She goes, it looks great down there. And I'm like, oh my God. This is like the nicest thing that anyone's ever said to me. And she's like, yeah, this is like a well-maintained anal area. And I was like, well, feel around right here, which is such, that just comes so naturally when I'm like bent over, like pointing to an area of my bum right by my sphincter. And I have like a little bump. And she's like, oh yeah, it feels like maybe it could turn into a cyst. And maybe that got aggravated. I would just, keep an eye on it, but it doesn't seem that I wouldn't be too worried. It looks great down there. So, I mean, I don't want to brag, but you are looking at one beautifully bottomed boy. Whee! Good morning, Hope. And good morning, Jamie. Jamie said her first experience with a bidet ended up being sprayed in the face. The water is clean, but even though it comes from a place that is in a toilet, it feels pretty horrific, I'm imagining. Good morning, Clowny Face. Good morning, Angela. Good morning, Alex and Nika. Right, looks great down there. Seriously, I kind of maybe I want to email her and say, hey, could you just write that in an email so I can print it out and put it on my wall? Because honestly, I'm not going to put a picture because even a sphincter that looks great down there, it's it's not it's not attractive. At least when I was squatting over the mirror with a flashlight, even the best maintained anuses leave something to be desired in the aesthetic department. Okay. Nika says bending over is a vulnerable position to be in. Seriously, I mean, my doctor's awesome. I've been with her for a really long time, but I always feel bad, like putting in her face something that, well, it's her job. I get it, and it probably doesn't think about it in the same way. But I tend to feel like I'm imposing upon. Like I feel bad when I get my car washed. I'm like, sorry guys, I know it's really dirty. I'm sorry. The car wash guys did not say I had a well-maintained Lexus. I'll tell you that. Good morning, Neck. Neck says, I am grateful that I have learned how to upload videos from Burning Man 2024. Sweet. Nice work. Good morning, J-Soul. J-Soul says, being free from hair down there creates comfort with no stairs. No, but for real. It's a pretty small group of people that I would even invite to take a peek. AJ says, next year's sticker says, looks great down there, I've been told. I might get a tramp stamp with the quotes, looks great down there. Dr. Seidel. Good morning, Kiri. Good morning. Good morning, Hope. Hope says, I've been there with the hemorrhoids and figured out that it was a substance and medication related. Any stimulant and I immediately get them. Interesting. I definitely was stimulant accepting. I increased my stimulant level there, which is why I had to like detox and sleep so much when I got home. That's good to know. Who else has got some gratitude that they'd like to share? I'm grateful. So yesterday I had such a good day. I had Love Morning here, which was wonderful, and then I went to my doctor appointment that went great, and then I met my brother and we went body surfing, and then I visited my dad and helped him figure out some computer stuff, and then let's keep with the theme of inappropriate body function stuff. So my brother had already had lunch, so I decided that so I didn't have lunch. Then I went to visit my dad, and I kept looking at his fridge, and there was nothing that I wanted to eat. So I'm like, I don't got to go home and make a sandwich. I go, I have tuna fish, but I don't have bread. I had that thought while I was in the bathroom, and I came out of the bathroom, and I go to the fridge, and I go, can I take a couple pieces of bread? And he goes, totally straight face. He goes, something happened in the bathroom? And I look back totally straight faced. He goes, you're out of toilet paper. As I grabbed 2 slices, just totally straight faced. And then we both started busting up. He can be very funny. Carrie says, I'm grateful for Ultra Plush. I don't even know how many ply toilet paper. Toilet paper is one of those areas where it's worth it to splurge or to find a type that you like and then don't give a fuck what's on sale. You pay the extra $4, $5, $6 for the rolls that let you show up at a doctor's appointment and know that you're going to hear, looks great down there. I'm also a huge believer in bidets now. And if there's a South Park that I watched recently about Japanese toilets, it's so funny. It talks about how we are one of the only, the percentage of people in the worldwide that use toilet paper as opposed to water, it's not just, it hasn't always been that way. And so the show is kind of about how there's a conspiracy of toilet paper companies that are keeping us from the truth, which is that it's a way better idea to wash our butts. Clowny Face says, I am so grateful for humor around body and health topics. I'm glad that we can all connect in that way. Alan Watts said, in life, you should be sincere, but not serious. I love that. That's a big policy of mine. In fact, I have stickers that say sexy, silly, sacred. Those are like the pillars of my spirituality. AJ, I'm grateful for getting home safe and just about done with the initial unpacking. I'm grateful that I reached out to the chemist who has a very popular post about why Calgon is such a good way to clean your Burning Man clothes and talking about doing a video together. So I'm grateful that she shared such wisdom and that she's open to making a video with me. Nika says, more genitalia love. I support this movement. Right? And can we include the anus? Actually, is anus part of genitalia? Look at me. I am ignorant. I'm going to get labeled some anti-anal because I don't accept the sphincter as part of the genitalia movement. Speaking of which, I can say this with anonymity, but I had someone reach out to me and ask why if I would make some videos about medical transitioning and for trans people making transitions and my thoughts about that. And it's something that I don't feel comfortable speaking about because I feel like in my learning and understanding phase. And I feel like honestly, the climate for asking questions and learning is dangerous to do publicly. So I was talking with this person, asking them questions, and I didn't know this was a thing. They said they had a penis, but they identify as both. And so they were considering getting surgery to add genitalia, an additional genitalia. I didn't know that was a thing. But I have a feeling the genitalia love movement is going to be asked to make a statement about that. Whoa, Hope just said that I learned that most toilet paper has PFAs, those forever chemicals. That's a dangerous thought. James says, the first thing at your family's house is raiding the fridge. I totally, although my parents are big on, they make a meal and then they have a plan for the leftovers. So I sometimes open the door, I'm like, ooh, can I have that? And they're like, nah, that's planned for dinner tonight. I'm like, okay. There's always hard-boiled eggs at mom's house, though. My parents live together, so mom's house is mom and dad's. But when I think of food, I think of mom's because dad is not a enthusiastic participant in food preparation. Let's just leave it at that. Angela Marie says, I am grateful for a calm new job and for my earphones so I can hear about your down there this morning. Awesome. I guess I don't really need a trigger warning if I say anal in the title, right? But I'm glad that you are able to listen in this private circle of trust. Lex says, I am grateful for clean, washed sheets. Now, in a few months, we'll be grateful for them clean wash sheets straight from the dryer when they're warm. But now it's kind of, you want to like get them wet first almost. Kiri says, please tell me the movement was an intentional pun. I missed that. Totally. Support the movement. Yeah, well done. Well done. Moosecock says, hear me out. I'm grateful that I didn't make it home this year. I felt really sad and regret it, but I now know how important it is for my mental health to do the journey and do all the things. Next year was better. I get it. Um, that is a under, I think, appreciated or spoken about aspect of gratitude and about life, of paying attention when you miss things, paying attention when you're suffering, paying attention when you're not comfortable, and then adding gratitude to the conditions or the thing that relieves it. We're often so focused on what's not right. Sometimes what's not right is a person that you haven't talked to. So, well, good. Then talk to them again and be grateful that they're in your life. Or return to Burning Man, or find a way to touch on that part of your life that's so important that you can be aware of its absence. Well said. Rain says, I'm grateful I can stay friends and connected after breakups, and moving back to Cali soon. Beaches and theme parks, here I come. That is so good. It took me a long time to have good relationships with my exes, but now I feel like I really do. And in fact, Natasha, who's here often in Love Mornings, is one of my former partners. We lived together and had a beautiful, beautiful, loving chapter of our lives. And now I think we have so much love for each other in a very different way. And it's, I'm very grateful. Mark says, I'm grateful that Uranus is in retrograde. For real. Time to make some changes. Uranus is in retrograde. That is just too low hanging fruit, but pretty beautiful. Anyone else have any gratitude they'd like to share today? Something else I thought I was going to say I'm grateful for. I'm grateful for lots of work purging things in my garage. Oh, I know what I'm grateful for. I love this backpack I got many, many years ago. See, it's got these, it's soft, but it just looks like an anime cool thing. The zipper is broken, so I pin it shut. And that doesn't bother me too much with the aesthetics, but it was all ripped inside. And so every time I got back from the burn, and there was all these buttons in the lining, that you had to find out. So yesterday I loaded up some needle and thread and sewed up the backpack. And so I'm grateful for learning basic sewing from my mom. I was thinking about her as I was doing that. I should make sure that reminds me. I will tell her that today, because I really enjoy and try to practice the idea of letting people know when you think about them in positive ways. Gerbot says, I am grateful for a good friendship with one of my exes. Beautiful. J-Soul says, I'm grateful for my friend Jamie helping me to find this space and you all. I'm so glad you're here. And thank you, Jamie. Is that Jamie in Barcelona, Jamie? Hello, indefinite gentleman, who is grateful is having someone come back from the playa on a high and trying to convince me all the bad times I had out there in the past definitely won't happen again. No more dust, no more noise, etc. So is that, you are grateful for that? Or I'm because I do think that, while that seems like an unreasonable statement that those things won't happen, I do think it is. I didn't realize how kind of wacky this was with the words down there. I should do this. I think practicing a little bit of reframing and remembering your focus is a good idea when reflecting back on Burning Man experiences. And I see, we talked a few days ago about theft, and I see so many posts online about people who are listing off the things they didn't like about Burning Man. I had moments this year where I was like, okay, I'm struggling with this. This is not as much fun to me as it used to be. And I had to be like, whoa, these things are all true, and there's a lot of awesome, which I don't mean to be convincing you or saying you should go back. In fact, I agree with the struggles with dust on my fingers is so hard for me. I wear gloves constantly, and the heat was a real struggle for me. But I also have been trying to go, what were the things that were so good that I got to make sure the equation in my mind stays vigilant about knowing how much my mind wants to focus on what sucks. So keep going to the gratitude of the things that I loved, even if I don't return, which I will. But anyway, sorry if I deconstructed your comment in the incorrect way. Saying that the gratitude is that I was missed so much that they're willing to lie like a dog to me to see me on the play again. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Thank you for the clarification. I should have kept reading. Although I really caution people about trying to convince people to go to Burning Man. It's often people do that, after your first year, you're like, you gotta go. And I think I understand that. And I had that when I was a new participant, but Burning Man is hard. And there will be times when you're like, this sucks. And what the fuck am I doing here? Why did I come here? And if you go because someone convinced you to, in those moments when you are saying, this sucks, you don't go to, why did I do this? You go to, why the fuck did they tell me to do this? And when you eventually make it back to, okay, I can handle this. And now that I know that I'm capable of more, I'm stretched my identity of who I am. Like that process of why did I do this to be, I can do this. It's so much more profoundly transformative than if you go to, why did they drag me here? And then you make it, it's like, it's not as big a journey of the self. And it's not, I don't believe, as powerful an experience. So let people choose on their own. You can lay out why you love it. Let them choose. Let them get through their struggle. Let them have the victory and the growth. Oh, didn't mean to do that. Sorry. Let's see. Sorry if I'm missing some comments. Kiri says, I'm so grateful for how loved it made me feel when Sean and I appeared in the big circle after the pink ride, just in time for the swim and roll hug. Everyone cheering. It was such a high for me. That was great. And I don't know if like so the pink ride, we always ride from Pink Heart to Center Camp, and then we park our bikes. But this year, because Center Camp is so different, we did a loop around Center Camp, and that was partially inspired because I wanted to go by Haka-Cola, your camp. And there wasn't people there. I didn't see you, at least. And so then when we got off the bikes and circled up, seeing your guys' faces was really, I was already so high on the experience and the love. And then you guys were like a well-maintained anal area, just like mwah. If you're joining us mid-broadcast, the phrase well-maintained anal area might not have made sense, and to which I will just say, roll with it. Kat said, my partner and I will celebrate 10 years together, burn day next year, and we want to get married on Playa. I'm letting friends know and saying, if you're interested, okay, but we need to prep you. And if not, no worries. We will do something back in the default to celebrate. That's cool. I officiated a wedding of some campmates years ago that was like their wedding, and their parents came, for a few days, who were, to experience Burning Man a little bit and to be there for their wedding. And what a cool thing. What a cool reason to try out Burning Man, to to see the place that is so special to someone that they want to get married there. But I agree that you gotta. I think pressuring people to go, or like, well, if you cared about our relationship, you'd. It's like, and I like the idea of we're gonna have a playa wedding and we're gonna have another one, and we'd love to have you at our playa wedding, and there's no pressure. Gerbot says, 100%. Great advice. I don't twist someone's arm to go. They need to make that commitment on their own. Advocate, don't dictate. Yeah. I mean, that's kind of in life, really. I don't like to be told what to do. I like people to inspire me. Tell me your experience in a way that makes me go, would I like that? I trust you. I would like that. The reason this ain't no Lollapalooza is that no one on the playa can escape the immediacy of the this sucks moments. I like that. Yeah, you can't outsource your struggles. You can't escape into, well, you can, I mean, that's one of, I used to escape the discomfort of the burn with certain drugs. So, which is one of my adjustment to taking those drugs out of my life, is that the discomfort of the burn is more visceral to me. I have maintained my 26-year streak of crying at Burning Man at least once. Kat saying, my daughter and her husband are going to weekend warrior it for us. What cool wedding photos. I participated in a vow renewal on Playa on Wednesday this year. It was one of the few things that I was like, that's an important thing for me. My friend Cookie and Effie, and actually I talked to Cookie on the phone yesterday. He had a really cool philosophical idea he wanted to talk to me that was based on optimism tax. Maybe we'll talk about it sometime. Anyway, it was so beautiful, and their love story is integrated with Pink Heart so much. And although they met way before Pink Heart, but it's so beautiful. And I was crying so much at their wedding vows and their renewal. And then yesterday they posted some pictures, and there's this awesome picture of me and Cookie, the husband. And I almost didn't want to post it because I'm like, the two of them are so beautiful, and Effie, the bride, is so gorgeous. But I'm like, I mean, she's gorgeous, but look at the two of us. We look great in this picture. Rain says, I've been asked to go to the Big Burn for years. I've been to a couple of small ones and weekend raves. I had the opportunity to go this year, but timing was not great due to my current breakup and move situation, but planning to try to go next year. I think that's well done, listening to your intuition, like pushing yourself and not being sure of it. It would be a really hard mental space to be in when it sucks, when the weather was bad, or when you got overheated or whatever. So nice. I think starting now and thinking about next year and finding people near you that are going, and maybe finding a theme camp if that's of interest to you, and getting to build up your excitement and preparation is a great idea. And then next year, if you say, you know what, not feeling it, that's cool too. Joyous, good morning. Joyous says, is it even Burning Man if you don't cry? In my, like, I cry easily. So for me, no. But I know that crying for some, especially crying for some men, is a very rare. So I think maybe being dysregulated is mandatory. You'll be dysregulated at Burning Man. Gerbot pointing out that it's not about escaping those moments. It's about getting through them communally. Last year was a great example. I feel the mud really brought us together in that shared experience. I think that is a good example. It's one that I don't think I did a great job at. I retreated to my RV with Lisa a lot while the campmates were having their little micro festival within our camp. But I think you're right. Thanks, Gearbot. Infinite Gentleman saying, yeah, I'm not great at sharing my misery. Probably would be a lot better if I did. Next time I am hating dust, I'll ask the community to just turn down the thermostat. Yeah. I had such a hard time not like, I mean, the weather was great and I hated the heat. So I'm with you on the thermostat requests. What's funny, the year before, like before it rained, it was the best weather I've ever like cool. It was cool. I like during the pink ride last year, I think I wore like a mesh and a long vest on top of it where like this year I was like, what's the least amount of fabric that I can have on my body without people realizing how well maintained my anus is? Oh boy, we have been connecting for more than 30 minutes. We probably should get off into our days if we want to. Although I had the thought recently, like, should I do these just for a long time and expect people to come and go, kind of like a morning drive time broadcast or like those long Joe Rogan-y podcast? Yeah, as I say that out loud, that doesn't sound like a good idea. But thank you for being here and sharing whatever time that we have together, reminding ourselves that it's a connection moment. It's a reminder that we're not alone. You might not have burners in your day-to-day life, but we are out there. We are out there struggling with the same things, remembering the same things. If you want to join you can still join the Burning Man integration called Post Integration 2024 group on Facebook. And we're sharing thoughts, and there's some challenges and some discussions, people asking questions or sharing things, just to kind of keep this reminder going that it's not Burning Man me and default world me. No, it's just beautiful you. And I think it's a lot easier to hold on to the aspects of ourselves that are so much easier to express within the community of Black Rock City or a regional. It's so much easier to do that in the default world when you keep reminding yourself that we have community all day, every day. It's just that sometimes we have to connect digitally to find it. The gentleman says, I have the finest RV, but ask Halcyon how nice and cool his RV was in 23. Is it 23, 22, 23? Yeah. I tried to cool off the back area. The front area was like 127 degrees. And the back with the AC, it was like 97. And then that's why I have conduit on the top of my roof, welded to the top of the roof so that I can put shade cloth over the whole thing to try to reduce that baking sensation. Okay, I think it's time for us to go off with our days. So I hope you join me tomorrow to share some gratitude, or maybe we do gratitude circles in Zoom every day at noon, and you can join that Facebook group I'm not really playing hard to get, am I? It's very easy to stay connected with me. So I hope that we are connected. Joyce is grateful for camping with Camp Envy online this year and last. Super recommended for burn prep and or FOMO. Hadn't participated since 2011. I am gaining in my appreciation and respect for the Camp Envy, the people who come together to participate via webcam. I think it's really, really cool. Okay, wherever you are, let's close this with a hug. Give yourself a squeeze. Feel yourself holding me as I hold you, and we're holding one another. All the people that are here that we've heard commented, or maybe that just come in and out, just everyone attracted to this vibe of love ambassadorship. Let's feel sinking into that reminder through the physical presence And then remembering that it's not about the physical presence, it's about the intention. We are connected by our hearts in this moment. So let's feel the strength of that community as we take a deep breath in and squeeze. On behalf of Grandpa Caleb and all of us here, thanks for being here for this Love Ambassador morning. I love you. And remind me tomorrow to talk about a physical get-together / retreat. I did one. I haven't done one in a while, and I'm thinking about maybe getting a Love Ambassador meetup going again. Maybe come together for some in-person hugs and exercises and activities. So I love you. Enjoy this day. Inhale, gratitude. Exhale, compassion. Hello. And thanks for that comment.